1,
2,
3, let's go!
Staying in the pods was cool, but I was dying in my pod.
Why?
Was your pod like 100 degrees?
Oh, I was freezing.
Oh, I was so hot. Okay, well, then that's a thing. When staying in the pods, you might overheat or you might freeze. Did you not get the duvet?
No.
You didn't get a duvet?
No.
Still worth it though, I think. But yeah, I was burning up. Also, parking for a day here, not bad. Parking for 24 hours right by here has been like $6. It's pretty good.
We're making our way further inland today towards another beautiful lake town, Wanaka, but not before a quick detour back in time. Arrowtown is an old historic mining village that sprung up in the 1860s during the gold rush. The buildings here remain practically unchanged, so it's a bit like walking through the set of an old western, with a pretty obvious theme: rocks. Besides the attraction of maybe finding gold, Arrowtown also has a very reputable candy store, with some of the best fudge in the country. If you're keen on a stroll or bike ride, head south for less than a minute, and you'll come to the Chinese Village Historic Walkway. The flip side to Arrowtown's beauty is what was left behind by the workers. By the 1870s, around 3.5 thousand Chinese miners were living here, forced to live in cramped, self-made huts along the banks of the river. While there were some slightly better settlements around the region, the workers generally suffered poor conditions and discrimination, which the New Zealand government later formally apologised for in 2002. Oh man, now this is amazing. That is so cool, this house. It's built, look how delicately it's built into the side of this cliff. And it's just like a one person cave house thing you can't really see much in, but I mean, I guess they would have had like a, I don't know, like a bed area and a kitchen or something just in this cave. Look how perfect. Look how perfectly it's all been measured and cut and put in here. I mean, this is really stable. And it's just a hut, man. This door. Just the level of craftsmanship is amazing. Little window. This kind of thing blows my mind. I love this stuff. This is really cool. And look at this little hut over here. Look at the roof, corrugated iron mixed with these like ferns and grass and stuff. Like a mixture of European and Chinese and Maori style of building. So you can do the Chinese village walk and have a look at all the leftover places, but along the way you can see the outline of other places that aren't there anymore. Whoever lived here had a tree in the back of their house that's grown through it now. Look at this one. This is another example of that. Gum's hut. This stuff really blows my mind. Look how well, you know? That's what it takes to build a hut by hand. These people had to go and get each and every single stone here, and enough to build a house, and then balance them all, make their own mortar, and then 100 years later, there's still heaps of it here. That's the thing, right? I've got some talents, I can act, I can do those things, but I could have built a house. That's next level.
The council has worked hard to preserve what's left, and it serves as a haunting reminder of the real price of gold. Now as we head further north, we come across one of the most Kiwi things ever, bra drona. A play on the name car drona, this is literally a fence covered in bras from people from all around the world. From itty bitty titties to tig old bitties. Beautiful. Less than an hour's drive away is Lake Wanaka. Similar to Queenstown, this city is built at the edge of a lake surrounded by beautiful mountains. From what I can tell, the only difference here is that the people are quite normal. Nobody's driving a shark, no one's swinging off a bridge, just a bunch of people waiting for ski season. And a couple hundred tourists. I've also decided my new thing is taking photos of people taking photos. It's fascinating.
We are going out to the Wanaka tree, which is just out there, which is basically just a big famous frickin' tree that everyone likes to take photos of. I admit it's a pretty tree, I haven't been before. But right now, it looks like it's just covered with tourists, like everything else down here. But let's see if we can get some photos around them, hopefully.
I personally don't get the big deal with a tree, but I guess it's like a symbol of home for the people that live or have lived here. In the same way that Mount Cooper represents home to me, because I grew up around it. Fun fact, Mount Cooper also features in Taika Waititi's first feature film, Eagle vs. Shark. Love that film.
Now, I know I said I wanted to stay in the yurt back in Kaikoura, but I guess we just couldn't wait. And so we found another place here in Wanaka called the Oasis Yurt Camp. And, well, we're gonna stay in a yurt, which is pretty damn exciting. And I'll show you them because I'll be honest, they're pretty luxury as far as yurts go. I think it really is just this like wooden frame that they've got up, and then it's this like thick, waterproof, windproof, insulated material that they just dome over it. And look at the detail on the top, it's so nice. Like a little Viking shield and a little plastic window. The view is not amazing, I've seen better, but still. It's also really warm, and it has a fireplace, has a charger for a phone that isn't an iPhone, so it's useless to us. Along with our individual yurts, we actually have a communal kitchen, so similar to the place that we stayed at with the wooden pods and the wooden igloo, but this place is a lot bigger. So you get all of this, and of course free tea and coffee and milk and hot water and sugar and all of those things. This would be such a cool place to bring people. The shelves on the fridge are labeled because each yurt has its own name, and then you have your own little basket, which is your pantry basically, and your own little fridge, and a roaring fire. This place is very cool.
After a short rest, we hit town for dinner and a movie. And I have to give them a shout out here because this was literally the best curry I've had in my entire life. Bombay Palace, it's right on the beach, so it's a meal with a view, absolutely amazing, highly recommend. After that we went to Cinema Paradiso, which is basically just a cute little cabin. It even has a shower for some reason. The theatre itself is furbished mostly with second-hand couches, so it is super comfy. The movie was good, But at intermission, and yes, you heard me correctly, they have intermission. It's a Wanaka tradition that everybody gets a giant freshly baked cookie before watching the rest of the film. And it was definitely worth pausing the film for. What a day. Nice one, Wanaka. Too cool.